Hi, this is Annette Sullivan from Lavender Thoughts. Today I'm going to show you some quick and easy Z-fold cards which will create a wow factor for your recipients. They're very easy to make, so let's start. Okay, so the first one we are going to make is just a standard Z-fold. So you're getting half a sheet of your cardstock and you're scoring it in half down the middle, folding it like that, and then folding the other half back. And that's all there is to it. That's how easy it is. Now for this particular one, I'm going to be using pieces of the Designer Series paper from the Violet Dreams Specialty Designer paper, plus the framed Violets stamp set and dies to make it. So I'll have all the measurements for these cards in my blog post. So let's just go ahead and put these together. Okay. So you can make these as elaborate or as simple as you want. For mine, I'm just going to, trying to decide whether to have that. Yes, I think I'll have the black one there. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually just going to have the designer paper. All the way to the top and bottom, and just have a layer at the side. And then for this one, I'm just going to do exactly the same, so that you're ending up with the same little borders there. Okay, so now I've fussy cut a piece of the Designer Series paper, which isn't a full piece, so we can just pop that on the bottom. So you're not actually wasting any of your designer paper. So that can just go straight down the bottom there on the inside, like so. So you've got plenty of room to write your message on the inside there. So this designer paper's had a bit of time to dry, so I'll just cut off the excess bits. This is a good way of using if you've got not many strips of your designer paper left, because they don't actually take up much room at all. So there's our card, and then we're going to have this piece, which we didn't actually need another layer for, because the stamp actually stamps your layer on it, and then I've just used one of the little background stamps. So we're going to pop that on there so that it's equidistant from both sides. So I only want to put things on this side. So I'll just sit that like that, and then I'll put them on this side. Oh, they're the little ones. Probably be better if we use the big ones for this. And of course they're not going to be on the table, are they? Oh, drat. Let's get out another packet. And here I was thinking I was organised and had everything on the table. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could just glue this straight to the card. Or if you want to have a bit of dimension, let's do this. So the trick is, before we push it down, is to open it up and make sure that the dimensionals aren't hiding out. Looks about straight. Okay, and then I fussy cut this from one of the pieces of designer paper as well. So we're just going to pop that on there. Now, because I have put dimensionals on the big piece, I'm just going to glue this one straight down. And pop it. Probably pop it up a little bit. And then we can just put our sentiment across there. Now, if I cut that straight there, it's not going to hang over the edges. So let's just snip off a little bit there. Cross my fingers and I've got the scissors straight. And that'll just sit across there. So we might actually put a couple of dimensionals on that one, just so that you've got a bit of depth to it. And we'll just sit that there. So that's how quick and easy your straight Z-fold card is. Now, to jazz up the envelope, I've actually cut myself a template with the envelope shape so I can just use a little bit of the DSP. So the envelope looks just as pretty as the rest of it. There we go. One. Now, that's don't you think that your recipients are going to love that more than just a straight card that just opens and closes? So they've got a little bit of wow to get them going. Okay, so that's if you do it in the portrait style. So I'll just shift all these bits of stuff here. Okay, so the next one is basically the same fold, but this time we're going to do a landscape one. So this time you want to cut your cardstock in half lengthwise, and again, fold it, score it and fold it in half, and then fold that bit back that way. Again, I'm using the framed tulips framed violets stamp set and dies, as well as I'm going to use a sentiment from Fabulous Sayings, which was a product of the month earlier this year, but obviously you can use any sayings that you would like. Okay, so for this one, instead of having the DSP going straight to the top and bottom on these pieces, I'm going to do it a bit differently, and I'm going to have some layers. Excuse me. So I've got some fresh freesia cardstock to go with more of this Violet Dreams designer paper. And isn't it sad to have to waste those beautiful designs? Okay, so I just wanted a little border on these. Just as well, you get 2 sheets of each of the designer papers, so I've got another whole sheet with all those pretty violet images to use on other cards. Excuse me. Okay, so I've actually got 3 panels all the same size in this particular case. Now, when we're going to do our overlapping panel for the Z fold, which is this one here, its size is going to vary on what you actually want to put on the card itself. So first of all, we will pop on our layers. Just line that out equidistant there. It's easier to do sideways. So there's our base card. And for this one, I'm going to pop that in the middle, and then I've just fussy cut some pieces from another one of the pieces of designer paper, and I'm going to put them on there for my attachment piece. So to start with, I'm just going to centre that up. And put some glue on this side of it. This time I'm going to put the dimensionals on my little art panel. Okay, so okay. So look, oops, get wiggle room with the glue, but you also make sure you don't want to move it. Okay, double check that there's no glue hanging out the edge there, and that is straight. It's a little bit crooked. Now it is. Okay, so I'll pop our dimensionals on this piece. So once you understand the basic idea of a Z fold, there's lots more ideas you can take to go even further and do double Z folds and all sorts of things. And I'll show you some of those in some future videos. But today I just wanted to give you the idea how quick and easy it is to do the basic Z fold. You don't need any special tools, any special measurements or anything to do it, because it's just fold in half and fold back. Okay, so we'll centre that on there. And then I've cut another little piece so that when you open the card, you've got something on the inside too. Now, I might just pop that. I don't know whether to have it in the middle and right round it, or actually what I might do is I might just cut that down. It's going to take up too much room on the inside, so I'll just have a little border around it. So I wanted to put the gorgeous grape behind it to just give it a bit of definition. Because of the light coloured designer paper, if I had have sat it directly on the card, oops, it would have been, you wouldn't have been able to see it. Okay. Let's take a bit off there. And make sure the violets are the right way up. And it's winter here, well, winter starts tomorrow here in Australia, and it's already very cold. So my violets in the garden are starting to flower beautifully. So it was quite nice to see a stamp set come out that matched what I've actually got in the garden at the moment. So I just got a bit of glue there, so I'm just taking that off. Okay, so there's our landscape version of the card. Let's just pop the sentiment on there. And again, I'm going to put that one flat. So we have what's called Toowoomba violets here, and they're very similar to these. And the leaves are actually massive. and they're sort of heart-shaped like in the design here. But the leaves are sort of, some of the leaves get to this big, so you can pick like 2 leaves and have them hanging out, and then all these little violets on their long skinny stems just sitting in amongst these big leaves, and it makes a beautiful posy to put in a little vase. Okay, so there's the card, and again we're going to decorate the envelope. Okay, so card number 2. Oh, I can still see a little bit of that blue where I moved it. These glue erasers are great little tools to have in your stash. Okay, card number 2. Now, for the third one, just to give you a little bit of variation, I'm doing something a little bit different this time. Now, for this card, we're still using the same designer paper from the Violet Dreams. We're going to use these labels from the Beautifully Celebrated dies. So they're the dies from there. Now, these pretty little die-cut violets are from the framed violets, and you just cut out the different pieces. And it took me quite a while to put all that together, so I thought I'd do that before I put it on the card. Put them all together before I glued it on the card. And then these ones I just used some clear dots and coloured them in with my alcohol markers. So we'll just leave those there for a moment. And again, the sentiment is from the Fabulous Sayings. Now, again, we've just got half a sheet of cardstock folded in half. And this time, instead of folding the whole lot back, we're only going to fold a small amount of it back. Now, on this one, I've folded 3 centimetres, which is, well, I suppose about 1 1/4 inches if you're using the imperial type cards, but all the measurements, excuse me, will be in the my blog post. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is a little bit different. So this time we're going to actually cover up all that piece, all that white under there, and then we're going to have another piece which is going to be there, and it's just big enough so that it's hidden under the fold. So we'll put them on. Now again, you could make this piece any size you wanted to, depending on what sort of look you wanted to get for the card. Now you can see that I've actually left a little bit of space there and didn't have the DSP straight up against the fold. Now the reason for that was so that it'll bend back nicely without having that extra thickness right in the edge there. Now you could use designer paper or embossing piece of embossed cardstock, or just make up your own stamped images, whatever you want to put on it. But as I said, these cards, I've deliberately made them quick and easy so that you can do something a little bit different but from normal cards and have an extra wow factor. So, okay. And I usually cut my DSP or layered pieces when I'm doing it like this, just a little bit bigger, so that when you put it on, it's actually going to work all right. Okay. So we'll just put our die cut pieces together. And again, what we're going to do this time, we're actually going to centre it on the card. So depending on how you want to look at it, you could centre it on this strip here and have more space over there, or you could line it up on that edge and have more space over there, or you could centre it on there. Now, I like the idea of it being a little bit offset, so what I'm going to do is to centre it on here. So that's pretty well centred on the card. Oops, my wiggle room's moving again. Okay, so I've done 2 layers of these. I don't know whether you can see in between that I've got dimensionals. So we'll actually glue the back part flat. Otherwise you're going to have a little bit too much, I think. And again, we'll just I think I'll have it. I think I'm going straight up and down. Now I just left this on a long piece because I haven't quite decided how I was going to put that. But again, I just and just have that sitting across there, I think. So I'll put, and I'll put a little dimension on this side because this is on dimensions and this one isn't. So to get it even, okay, so there's your card. So I did a couple of extra little ones of these flowers, and I thought I might just pop them like that. So for these ones I've just coloured in the middle with the alcohol marker, because the middle actually die cuts out if you want it to. And on those ones on the front, I've actually popped them out and then I've just put the little dots. Okay, so I don't think I need that third one, so I'll keep that for another project. And again, we've got our envelope and our piece. So this one's actually a bigger piece. I usually just base it on what scrappy pieces I've got left over. Okay, so this is Peaceful Pine and this is Hydrangea Hue and the Hydrangea Hue ink. Okay, so there's our third card, third Z fold. So first one, cut your card in half, fold it in half, fold it back, and that's it. The second one, cut your card in half long ways, fold it in half, and fold it back on its in half again. And the third one, we're going to just cut it in half normally, fold it in half, and then just decide how much you want to turn back here. So I've deliberately done it so that this side's bigger than this side, so that works that way. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you can get to make some of these, and I would love to see what you make. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll have all the metric and imperial measurements in the blog post that's noted in the description below. Thanks again. Bye.